Currently the 54-hole leader at the Memorial Invitational, and Bryson's been playing some great golf this year. I'm going to talk about basically how his golf swing is misunderstood, especially by the announcers on TV. They're talking about how unorthodox his swing is, and I just want to show you how simple it is, and it's basically a concept that I've taught for over 20 years, basically just setting up for impact. So I've marked the club in orange. In his setup position, you can notice how it goes through his elbow of his right arm, or it intersects that position. And I just want you to watch the swing. I also marked his belt line and his neck line, as well as his spine angle. I want you to see this is also the most back-friendly golf swing that you will see, because there's no compression of the spine. As most players, the hips would be rising coming into impact, as you can see in many of my other videos here on YouTube. Take a look here at Bryson. This is his shot into the 18th hole yesterday. You can see how he takes the club back also almost perfectly on the plane he set up on. And you can see right here the club is actually right about there, and it's perfectly on his setup plane. If you check his hips, you see his hips and his neck, his spine angle, nothing has changed. He's simply rotating back and rotating back through, and the club, because he's set up on his impact plane, just moves back on plane and down on plane. You can see it here as the wrist cocks slightly at the top. It's pointing over towards the target. Reverse of direction from the ground up. You see his hips rotating and upper torso rotating. And you can see the club coming down. It's actually right there, perfectly on plane. You see where his hands are on plane here. And if you look here, this is a split second before impact. You see his hips have not changed, so there's no compression of the spine at all. His head's in almost the identical position, and his neck, so there's no compression of the spine at all here. And you can see the club on the same plane he's set up on. In a moment, I'm going to show you the face-on view, which is very interesting as well. And I think this is the way that anybody could improve their golf game, because it is the simplest way to swing a golf club. Turn back, turn through, you're set up on plane. You don't have to compensate at all. And you can see he releases right on plane as well. Nice straight shot. Here he hit it right, pretty close to the hole. Finish standing straight up. So there's a lot of conventional movement in his swing, but because he sets up on his impact plane, it's a lot simpler to execute, and basically exactly the same the entire backswing. So because the club's angled behind him, it's going to look like there's more of an angle there, but again, you see the same bend going back as you did at setup. So he's simply rotating his upper body back. You can see his head staying in position. You can see I've never seen anybody on a tour basically that has, up until here, no cocking of the wrist at all. That's really amazing. So you can see all he's done is move the shoulders back by rotating his body, his hips and upper body. He's just moving the shoulder back. It's working like a machine, like Iron Byron basically. It's a simple rotation of the body, bringing the arms up. And you'll see at the top, look at the wrist. Normally, any other players that you would see would have the club in this position. So this is really quite amazing what he's done. And I think it's misunderstood. People basically would say that he's not going to be able to create much power. But then when you look at his statistics, he's in the top 30 in driving distance on the tour this year. So again, take a look. It looks to be a little bit more angled there as he starts to reverse directions with his body. You'll see right here the change of direction is going to create a bit of a cocking action. So you can see now there's a little bit more angle between the left arm and club shaft as he comes down. So you see there is more angle. You see the head position is about the same, and the shoulders basically coming back to where it started. If you look right now, you can see again that same position he's maintained, and a lot of this lack of angle is due to him holding the club more on the palm of the leading hand, which is something also that I teach in my Setup for Impact system. And I think it's easier for people to get great contact and a square club face through impact, as well as the position of the right arm, which is a non-rotational position that makes it a lot easier to hit the ball consistently straight, and your distance should increase as well. Here we see at impact. Again, you see how the shoulders in the position where it started, the head's almost in the identical position, but you see the leading wrist is basically the same position. You see here the lead arm, the left arm and club shaft in alignment. He's basically just a machine taking the club back